Hello students, let us continue chapter 4 heat. The next topic we are going to discuss is transfer of heat. You might have observed that a frying pan becomes hot when kept on a flame. It is because the heat passes from the flame to the utensil. When the pan is removed from the fire, it slowly cools down. Why does it cool down? The heat is transferred from the pan to the surroundings. So you can understand that in both the cases, the heat flows from a hotter object to a colder object. In fact, in all cases, heat flows from a hotter object to a colder object. How does heat flow? Let us investigate. When a frying pan is kept on the fire, that is on the stove, and after some time the handle of the pan becomes hot too, even though it is not in direct contact with the flame. This happens because of transfer of heat. The heat from the flame passes to the utensil. After the pan is removed from the fire, it cools down. This too happens because of transfer of heat. This time, the heat from the pan is transferred from the pan to the surrounding because compared to the pan, the temperature of the surrounding is cooler. So, the flow of heat is from a hotter object to a colder object. This is true in all the cases. Heat flows from a hotter object to a colder object. Let us understand the flow of heat in the next activity. Activity 4.6. Take a rod or a flat strip of a metal, say of aluminium or iron. Fix a few small wax pieces on the rod. These pieces should be at nearly equal distances. Clamp the rod to a stand. If you do not find a stand, you can put one end of the rod in between bricks. Now, heat the other end of the rod and observe. What happens to the wax pieces? Do these pieces begin to fall? Which piece falls the first? Do you think that heat is transferred from the end nearest to the flame to the other end? In this activity, we will learn the transfer of heat or flow of heat. First of all, take a rod or a flat strip of metal and fix it as shown in figure. Put small candle wax pieces on the strip at equal distances. On one end of the strip, place a candle and observe. You can observe that the wax pieces fall one after the other. The wax piece near the flame falls first. So, heat is transferred from the end which is nearest to the flame. This process is called conduction. The process by which heat is transferred from the hotter end to the colder end of an object is known as conduction. So this is the definition of conduction. It is the process by which heat is transferred from hotter end of an object to the colder end of an object. In solids, generally, the heat is transferred by the process of conduction. Do all substances conduct heat easily? You must have observed that the metallic pan for cooking has a plastic or wooden handle. Can you lift a hot pan by holding it from the handle without getting hurt? By the process of conduction, heat is transferred in solid, but not all solids transfer heat in the same manner. Like we discussed before, the handle of the frying pan becomes hot when the pan is on the flame. So, metal pans have a wooden or plastic handle. With the help of this, we can easily lift the pan from the stove even when the pan is hot. Why does this happen? Because wood and plastic are bad or poor conductors of heat. They are called insulators. Let us learn more about this in the next activity. Activity 4.7. Heat water in a small pan or a beaker. Collect some articles such as steel spoon, plastic scale, pencil and divider. Dip one end of each of these articles in hot water. Wait for a few minutes. Touch the other end. Enter your observation in table 4.3. In this activity, you have to fill hot water in a beaker, and in the beaker you have to dip one end of a steel spoon, a plastic scale, a pencil and a divider as shown in figure. After few minutes, touch the other end of each of these objects. You can observe that the steel spoon's other end gets hot while the other end of pencil and the plastic scale does not. So, these objects can be classified as conductors and insulators. The materials which allow heat to pass through them easily are conductors of heat. For example, aluminium, iron and copper. So these materials which allow heat to pass through them easily are called conductors of heat. And the examples of some conductors of heat are aluminium, iron and copper. The materials which do not allow heat to pass through them easily are poor conductors of heat such as plastic and wood. Poor conductors of heat are known as insulators. Now, plastic and wood, they do not allow heat to pass through them easily. So, they are poor conductors of heat. That means they are not good conductors. So, they are called insulators. The water and air are poor conductors of heat. Then, how does the heat transfer takes place in these substances? Let us find out. Let us now find out how transfer of heat takes place in air and water, which are poor conductors of heat, in the next activity. Activity 4.8. Take a round bottom flask. If flask is not available, a beaker can be used. Fill it 2/3 with water. Place it on a tripod or make some arrangement to place the flask in such a way that you can heat it by placing a candle below it. Wait till the water in the flask is still. Place a crystal of potassium permanganate at the bottom of the flask gently using a straw. Now heat the water by placing the candle just below the crystal. Write your observation in your notebook and also draw a picture of what you observe. When water is heated, the water near the flame gets hot. Hot water rises up. The cold water from the sides move towards the source of heat. This water also gets hot and rises, and water from the sides move down. This process continues till the whole water gets heated. This mode of heat transfer is known as convection. For performing this activity, you require a beaker or a round bottom flask, some crystals of potassium permanganate, a candle and some water. Fill the beaker with 2/3 parts of water and wait till the water in the beaker is still. Next, carefully place the potassium permanganate crystal at the bottom of the beaker using a straw. After that, you have to heat the water by placing a candle just below the crystal. You will observe that when the water gets heated, the water near the flame gets hot. The hot water rises to the top and the cold water from the top moves downwards towards the source of heat. This cold water also gets hot and it rises up, and the water from the sides move down, and this process continues. That is, this process is repeated until the whole water in the beaker is heated. This mode of transfer of heat is convection. So what is convection? Convection is the mode of transfer of heat or the propagation of heat in which heat moves from one place to another by the actual motion of particles or molecules in the liquid. How does the heat travel in air? In which direction the smoke go? The air near the heat source gets hot and rises. The air from the sides comes in to take its place. In this way, the air gets heated. So, just like water, heat travels in air too. When the air near the source of heats get hot, it rises upwards. So, the air from the sides come down and take the place of the air which rose up. So, in this way, the air gets heated. Let us learn about this in the following activity. But before performing this activity, you should be very careful and keep your hands at safe distance from the flame, or else there is a chance of your hands getting burned. Activity 4.9. Light a candle. Keep one hand above the flame and one hand on the side of the flame. Do your hands feel equally hot? If not, which hands feel hotter and why? Be careful, keep your hands at a safe distance from the flame so that they do not get burnt. Notice that towards the top the air gets heated by convection. Therefore, the hand above the flame feels hot. On the sides, however, there is no convection and air does not feel as hot as at the top. So, for performing this activity, you require a candle. After lighting the candle, keep one of your hands on top of the flame of the candle and the other hand on the side of the candle. You can observe that the hand just above the flame of the candle feels hotter than the hand on the side. That means the air rises towards the top after getting heated. So, this is the convection of air. The air towards the top gets heated because of convection. On the sides of the candle, there is no convection and therefore the hand on the side does not feel as hot as it does as the top of the flame.